the material. Okay.
I know.
Hold on, I don't want this to slide around because it's gonna distract me. You can still comment on my sticky fingers.
But it feels
Do you
disingenuous.
feel like you're loud?
I feel like out of the three of us,
Which way should I point it?
towards you, you're the quietest.
That's true.
F.
Until I start mumbling, though.
I do too. I'm gonna try. I noticed I did that last time.
We just need to get microphones.
That's true. It was a little quiet last time.
Yeah.
I edited the most recent one differently, so
Okay.
we'll see.
Because you can break it up into chunks, and then, like, the decibel level you can bring up on the quieter spots.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We're going. Hello. Welcome back to my aunt's attic.
Welcome
I was
back.
gonna say, do you guys want to say anything?
Yeah.
We have our first guest here with us today. It's just someone that we pulled off the streets, and we've never met him before. We just figured it would be really fun and interesting if we just had a random stranger like come on.
Yeah.
So, do you want to say your name?
Eric? Eric the man?
Eric the man is here because, well, he's a guest on our podcast, but also Danielle and he.
Danielle and it.
Danielle and it are from Ohio. However, Eric likes Ohio and Danielle does not.
Ooh.
Yeah. So we're gonna have battles here.
I'm gonna win.
First and foremost, as I was saying before, until I interrupted you, where are you from in Ohio?
So it's like halfway between Cleveland and Columbus, but like east. You ever heard of Mohican?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm from Mohican, like the Loudonville. I'm
Yeah.
from the Mohican area.
Okay.
So that whole town.
Okay.
You're from Marysville, right?
What the heck?
Well,
What?
She told me, I think, one time.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I can't remember what I
Sorry,
had. I have the garbage memory here, so that just weirded me out. I'm originally I was born in Marysville, but we lived in Columbus at the time. So when I was little,
Okay.
first Columbus, then we moved back to Marysville, and then we moved to St. Clairsville on the, eastern side, eastern border. So I kind of lived all over in Columbus. Jeez, I'm doing good already in Ohio.
Okay.
Okay.
I lived. Do you know Prospect?
Yeah.
Okay, I lived in Prospect for like a couple years, like before I moved here. So I kind of know that part of Ohio a little bit, like near Marysville.
Okay.
If that's like I feel like that's like the main like perspective of Ohio.
Well, I was
where it's
gonna
like
say,
flat and cornfields and boring as hell.
when you have one, if you've seen one area of Ohio, you've pretty much seen it all. That's the thing.
I agree with like the western half of Ohio, but like I'm not familiar with. You said it was St. Clairsville.
St. Clair's is like right on the border of West Virginia and Ohio.
Okay.
So it's a little bit hillier. We got a little bit going on there. But
See, I would say that that's like entirely different, and I feel like I don't know. It's way nicer over there.
I can't, like, there's just nothing in Ohio though. Like when you like have top 10 destinations of the U.S., there's not a single one in Ohio.
Well, yeah, the U.S. is huge, and there's like crazy. Like it's one of the most
Top 100. You ain't gonna find a place in
top
Ohio.
100.
Like it's not there.
That's fine.
I
It's
think
still nice, and the people are lovely. Some of them.
My hometown, I gotta stop hating so much on my hometown, because if anybody that lives there ever hears this, don't take it personally. But you know what? My hometown sucked. Like, really bad. It was such a small town. It was a fish bubble. A fish bubble? A fish bowl. There we go.
Fish bubble.
I'll get there eventually. But everybody just knew everybody. Everyone was up each other's butts, and I hated it. I was like, I love the anonymity of a bigger city. Mm-hmm. You could not get that in my hometown. And my mom actually she just told me not too long ago. She's like, can you take a couple weeks off coming around like Christmas or something to come down and spend time and take like
weeks?
Yeah.
Oh.
Like 2 weeks or something, just to spend a little bit extended holiday or something. And I was like, that's not a vacation for me. That's torture. Why would you do this? And she's like, oh, okay. But I was like, just no. I told her, I was like, if I ever went back to Ohio, it would be to Columbus for 21 Pilots. That's pretty much it.
Columbus is nice. I lived there for about a year, and then I worked like in and around Columbus, like mapping gas lines for like a year and a half.
Okay, yeah.
I like Columbus overall. I do. Like it's a nice city.
It's just smack in the middle of nothing.
That's
just
true.
nothing. I mean,
That's
you
true.
have to go out of the state for any kind of anything. I mean, you
As
have
far as like what though?
any kind of sightseeing, any kind of adventure, any kind of thrilling anything other than going to Cedar Point. There's just nothing in Ohio. And Kings Island. That's it.
We have cabrewing.
What?
Cabrewing? You don't know what cabrewing is?
I don't know.
You don't know what cabrewing is?
No.
That's like
What are you saying?
it's
sneezing?
it's a it's a hybrid. It's a hybrid between like brew and canoeing, right? So you basically just this is what we do in Mohican. Like it's the canoe capital of Ohio. We literally just get on canoes, kayaks, tubes, float down our lazy ass river, and you just get fucked up. That's it. Okay.
That's some hick shit.
That is some hick shit.
That just sounds awful to me.
No, it's so nice.
No,
you can
I'm not
piss,
gonna lie. That actually sounds pretty great.
Yes, you can piss when and wherever you want.
Not that. No.
You get flashed, all right? Imagine being a 13-year-old boy growing up in the middle of nowhere. People throw beers to you, and you get to see titties. It's not a bad time, all right? And honestly, that might be the whole reason that I have such a propensity. We're going to change the word because I don't know how to pronounce it right now.
Propensity?
Thank you.
Okay.
Yes, towards Ohio.
Okay.
Right? It's just like, I feel like my hometown is just really nice. That's all. And I used to hate it, but it's like evolved into like a love, I guess. But.
That's exasperation.
I'm exasperated.
You're exasperated. Yep. No. Just, no. I don't know. I'm like, Ohio is quite literally the armpit of America. If you turn America on its side, you have the arm at the top, and Ohio literally is the armpit.
There's so much worse places, though.
I'm not saying there's not worse, but it's definitely, takes a slice of the cake at least.
Would you say that, like, the general attitude of, like, people here is, like, more negative in public? Like, the interactions?
I don't associate with people, so
Okay,
I don't
word.
know.
That's, like, one thing that I run into people all the time in public. I find gas leaks for a living, so I'm, like, walking through neighborhoods, I don't know, out in public a lot.
Okay.
I hate the people here. That's, like, my biggest thing, is just, like, and when you get to know people one-on-one, it's, like, fine, but, like, just the general attitude in public, I don't really appreciate, and that's why I think New York is the armpit, man. Because listen, maybe Ohio is the armpit as far as geography and as far as things to do, but at least we have kindness in our hearts.
That's not an argument. You can't argue with your feelings,
Hey,
Pearl.
well, I am, so you know what?
Well, okay, I can give that, but that's more of like a Midwest thing. I think overall
Okay.
Midwest is a little bit more accepting of people talking to them randomly.
Yeah.
Because I definitely do that when I'm comfortable in doing it. I will walk up to anybody and start talking to you like I've known you for years.
Mm-hmm. You get an odd look when you do that here.
Well, you gotta have to suss people out a little bit, and then yeah, I will say I've gotten a couple like
They're
like
"You're fucking
side eyes, like
talking to
why?
me?
Yeah,
You're talking to me? What?
like what is happening? Yeah,
It's weird not making eye contact with people when I'm on the street. Like, I'm used to, like, I don't know, being on a no-name road and, like, some 80-year-old farmer's, like, waving his hand with a big smile. And you're just like, oh, hey, guy. And then it's like, here, you, like, it's like, okay, don't move your head. Like, I'm audibly not audibly.
yeah.
Don't move your head.
Yeah,
Can you imagine?
You're mentally thinking.
Can you imagine if you're just like doing yard work and you just hear some guy walking down the street saying, move your head. Don't move your head.
You'd have the cops called on you so quick up here if someone heard you muttering to yourself.
I had the cops calling me for not muttering to myself one time. So
Why? Because you look like that?
exactly. That's exactly what it
Oh
was.
my god.
No,
That
tell the
and
story. You can't just leave it at that you got the cops calling you
Oh,
for no
I mean,
reason.
that is basically it, though. I was just walking through people's yards, and someone
But for
was like,
why?
But for what?
For my
For
okay,
work.
for my job where I
Yes.
find gas leaks, I go through people's yards and everything, and someone thought I looked mad sketch, even though I have the entire utility getup and everything. Like I have the company name on my forehead, on my hard hat. My vest is like high vis, says the company name and everything. I look pretty official, but. Whatever, I guess they thought I looked sketchy, so. The cop was chill. Normally not a fan of cops, but she was chill.
Okay. Well, at least that was good. The cop I had before, I was just thinking about this the other day. Not chill. I will never forgive this dude for this. I got pulled over one time. Didn't know I was getting pulled over.
Mm-hmm.
Driving through Manlius, and I see lights behind me, so I'm thinking, okay, he's going after somebody.
Yeah.
I need to get out of his way. So I pull over. He pulls in behind me. I'm like, wait a second, what is happening? I'm getting pulled over. Like, what is this? So, I get pulled over. I'm sitting there thinking, what the heck? He comes up to me, and he was like, hey, you know you can't have your seatbelt on like that. I had it under my arm rather than over my shoulder. I had my seatbelt on.
I put it under my arm.
I put it
only
under
put
my arm. And he was like, yeah, you can't have that. I was like, oh, okay. I immediately put it over my shoulder. And he was like, yeah, it's illegal. You have to have it over your shoulder. I'm like, okay, that's fine. Put it over. He still wanted my license and registration. So I'm like, okay. Hand him my stuff. He comes back. And I'm like, if you want to give me a ticket, give me a ticket. Be that kind of person. Whatever. But he had to cross the line into being a raging douchebag. He came up and he was like, well, you had a perfect driving record until today. Are you kidding me?
Dude.
Oh my god.
I almost lost my shit on there. I was like,
Just to
it's all
rub
about,
it in, dude.
Yeah. I'm like, you can give me a ticket. You can be that person. I don't care. I'm going to be pissed off. I'm going to get it wiped out because this is stupid. But you're that person that ruins cops for everybody. Like, I know that you have to stay calm. You have to stay respectful and calm in those situations. And it took every ounce of self-control not to just fillet this guy. I was like, you've got to be kidding me. He gave me a freaking ticket. Luckily, did it again, frog in the throat. Luckily, I have cop friends and everything, so I told him, I was like, here's the deal. Get rid of this. I'm not doing this. So it did. It got wiped. But I will never forget that. And I was, okay.
Just why?
I only wear my seatbelt under my arm though.
Well, my seatbelt will, like,
Cuts
move
across
around.
my neck.
Exactly. Yeah. And it's like, if I get into an accident right now, this thing's not saving my life. It's decapitating me.
Literally.
So, oh my god, he was like, yeah, there's a no tolerance policy going on, so I have to give you a ticket. And I'm like,
Think of what
oh
would go
my God.
wrong if it was under your arm. Like, wouldn't it just still?
It would still do its job.
I don't know what the issue is.
Yeah.
I don't understand the whole like the sudden no tolerance shit. Because it's like you're the one who enforces it though. Like you can create a tolerance. Like if I'm no, but for real, like
Yeah.
the camera's not picking up that I am not wearing a seatbelt. It's not that you know it doesn't have that kind of resolution. It's just your eyes. So it's like okay, you see I'm not wearing it properly, but I'm wearing it. You see, you know I'm a woman. Maybe like it's coming up a little high on me. Typically smaller. You know what I mean? Like. Don't be a dick. Don't be a dick.
He woke up and chose to just be an absolute jag-off that day. Just asinine. Oh, I forgot to close the windows. If you hear a bunch of rustling in the background, my window's open. Sorry. But, no, in Ohio, though, the first time I ever got pulled over for speeding, my buddy was with me, and he was saying, just run. He was so calm about it. He was like, just run. And as I'm, like... The problem was, I'm speeding, I pass the cop, I know I'm screwed. Yeah. I go up the hill, and then when you go up the hill, there's another road at the top, and then you can turn off. So technically, he couldn't see me, because I was at the top of the hill already, over the crest of it or something. So you couldn't see me, and he was coming up behind me, and my friend was like, just run, like, he can't see you, just go. And I was like, no, I know I'm getting pulled over, I can't do it. I was freaking out, absolutely freaking out. And lo and behold, cop comes up, he pulls me over. And I was so embarrassed. I was so freaking out. I had my head down. I just put my license and registration out the window. I didn't even want to look up. I was so embarrassed. I was so scared. And he takes my stuff and he's like, "You don't even know who I am, do you?" And I look up and it's another one of my buddies' dad. And I was like, "Oh my God, Greggy, how you doing?" So we started talking for a minute, and his son was my friend and everything. So we started talking about him, blah blah blah, and he could have nailed me for like reckless op. I was going fast enough that I could have lost my license, but he was like, "Just slow it down next time, Danielle." I'm like, "Okay, Greggy, thanks."
Yeah.
And then my buddy tried to tell me to run, but I was freaking out.
That's crazy. Like, why would you turn whatever you're, like a speeding ticket into a felony?
Yeah.
Why
it was
would
just
you
not
do
worth
that?
it. Yep.
That's just insane.
No, then another time here I was speeding. I was late to church and I was speeding. I was going down 690 where it's 55.
Mm-hmm.
I was going about 78. And or was it 70 or it was either 82 or 78. I slowed down and I think I was coming up a hill, so I coasted up the hill. I was like, I'm going too fast, so I used it to kind of slow my momentum. Got down to like 72-ish or something. And yep, right as I got over the hill, saw a cop sitting on the side there, and I knew it was coming. So he pulled me over and go through the whole routine, whatever. He's like, "Where are you going?" I'm like, "Church." "Where are you coming from?" I was like, "Home." Well, he saw I was like in my church clothes and everything, and he was like, "Just slow it down." I'm like, "Okay." So I've gotten out of 2 tickets, at least.
That's nice.
And then I get the one ticket I do get is from just an absolute dickhead. I'm like, okay.
That's so annoying.
Yeah.
You haven't been pulled over at all.
Never.
You're drive like a grandma, though.
That's true. Sometimes.
Why do you say that?
Because when you drop me off at my car, on the school parking lot, when you would drive me to my car, I was like, it's right there. It's right across the parking lot. Are we ever going to get there?
She goes sometimes.
That's so mean. Oh my God.
When we're driving somewhere where she doesn't know, she goes like annoyingly slow.
I don't know why. Like, I can't help it.
That I can kind of understand a little bit. Because, I mean, if you don't want to miss a turn or something, or...
Yeah.
My
I
thought
can
is-
understand going slow, but annoyingly slow.
I don't know.
Well, then maybe you're just impatient.
That's true. I am.
No, anytime I drive to a new place, there is always that apprehension. But then I tell myself, people drive here every day. If they can do it, I can do it. And if I don't know what I'm doing, I'll just follow the car in front of me. Because then I can't really get in trouble. Because my biggest fear is going down the wrong way of a one-way road. That terrifies me. So I'm just like, I have to double check everything around me. What is this?
We were just talking about this, like, on the way here.
Yeah.
Did you do it before?
No.
You say that like,
almost.
yes.
No, I went to turn, like, the wrong way, and then he was like...
Yeah, we were on Erie Boulevard. This was like 2 years ago.
It was not that long ago.
Yeah, like it was over a year and a half.
Okay.
Anyway, she went to turn the wrong way, and I just yelled at her.
Just
What are you doing?
Have you guys ever had your brains switch green and red lights? No.
No.
No, but I thought
just me?
I thought that happened when I what's the upside
Oh, the one
down
that's upside
traffic
down.
one?
It's the Irish.
Yeah, the Irish community. What is that place called?
Good question.
Doesn't matter.
I don't know.
I was going through there for work one day, and I was on the phone with my buddy. I was like, "Hey, is green supposed to be on red or wait? Is green supposed to be on the bottom or the top? Is green supposed to be red?"
Yep. I think isn't that like that's my brain though. Honest to God, I'm not joking. My brain will switch red and green in my head, like the understandings of it. Because
the understandings.
Yeah. So the meaning behind things is totally arbitrary. We assign meanings to things.
Yeah.
That was super involved in this. Anyway, the meanings of the colors will sometimes switch. Like, I'll see a green, I'm like, okay, I need to stop. And I'll see a red, I'm like, okay, time to go. And it's just random days that'll happen if I'm, like, I don't know. And I don't even have to be tired or anything. It's just some days, the meanings of things will switch in my head. And there was one time I was with my friend, and we were on Erie Boulevard. And I don't know who actually had the green light, but I know I had red. but I thought it was green. So I started going. My friend is like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "What do you mean? What are they doing across the road? They're supposed to be stopping, and the people who did have the green were going." And I was like, "What are they doing? They have to stop." And as I'm going when I'm supposed to be stopped, and my friend was like, "Dude, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing?" Her mom was behind us, and she's honking the horn at me, and I'm like, "What is happening right now?"
That's the feeling afterwards, after you do
Yeah.
something stupid while you're driving, is just so embarrassing.
It's like, I don't care what I had to do today. I need to go home right now. But it happens entirely too frequently. And this is, like, I was just telling her the last episode. I'm actually a really good driver. Apart from the times I've got pulled over, whatever.
You are good.
Yeah, so apart from the times I've gotten pulled over, I really don't speed a whole lot. Those were certain circumstances. And I'm really good about spacing issues and, like, kind of judging what is going on around me to kind of figure out if I'm going to get cut off, whatever. But other than that, there are some days that I do. My brain will switch red and green, and I tell my friends all the time, if it feels like I'm not going to stop at a stop sign, tell me, because I'm probably not. Because I'm looking around at me. I'm looking, if going through neighborhoods, where, like, every other road is a stop sign. I'm more looking for kids. I'm more looking for cars pulling out in front of me, cars pulling out of driveways or whatever. I'm not looking at stop signs so much. And so I was like, if it feels like I'm not going to stop, I'm probably not. So let me know. And it has happened on more than one occasion. My friends are like, hey.
That's crazy.
Yep. So the whole thing about the sinking suspicion of how I'm going to die. Yeah.
That's it.
You
Oh,
think
the
it's
car
a
crash.
car?
You said that.
Yeah, car crash. Yep. Something, yeah. Either I'm going to have one of my switchy brain days and something's going to go wrong, or I'm just going to be on the shit end of the stick when it comes to other people doing stupid stuff.
Gonna end up on Syracuse.com, man.
I'm going to be a statistic. No, I just want my obituary to be interesting. But whatever. Think I could get mauled by a bear in Syracuse?
Maybe if you go east of Syracuse. We don't have too many bears, unfortunately.
Maybe the foxes?
Unfortunately.
Well, yeah, bears are cool as shit. You don't like bears?
I don't know. I've never met one.
Met one.
Not even in, like, a zoo?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Okay, so meeting bears and a demolition derby. That's what we gotta do.
Yeah.
We gotta get you caught up on the fun things of life.
You met a bear?
Yeah. I mean, not, like, personally, but, like, I've seen bears.
I don't think I have.
I think the closest I got to a bear, I was in Tennessee. I think I was like 15, 20 feet away from a black bear, which it was a black bear, but I mean, they can still fuck you up, but I was like stupid and 15, so.
I think black bears out of all of them are the most, like, docile. Like,
Yeah.
grizzly bears will rip you to shreds as soon as look at you.
Yeah,
and
fuck
then
that.
Polar bears are just not okay. They're not okay sized. They're very large.
And they're the most carnivorous bear.
Yeah.
Because there's no vegetation there, or very little, so they only eat meat. So if they see you moving, like, they think you're food. Like, they will predate humans.
Yeah. Fun fact that I know pretty much everybody knows at this point, but Polar Blair...
Polar Blair
Yes.
Witch Trial.
Polar bears have black skin, and their fur is hollow.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's just fascinating.
crazy.
I love that.
I love it. And then, what is it? Tigers, their fur is not striped, it's their
the
skin.
Yeah.
I love
Oh,
stuff like
yeah.
that.
Is it the same for, like, Dalmatians and stuff, too? Their skin is,
Yeah.
like, the different colors.
Oh, I didn't know the one about Dalmatian.
I mean, it makes sense, I guess.
It's so cool. I love when people, like, have those birthmarks, like, that turn, like...
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
I have... Wait. Sorry. If you're listening, I pulled out my leg.
He pulled his foot out.
I have...
What are you doing?
I'm trying to look for... I have...
Like a patch
So I
of
have, like,
darker
I have, like,
hair?
white...
Or
like,
white
all
hair?
over... Well, you can't see because I'm so fucking pale. But I have, like, white patches all over my, like, ankles and feet and stuff. And I have one on my leg here.
Like the
I
hair
can't
turns
quite
white.
find it, but yeah, the hair is white.
That's cool.
I
like that.
can't
That's
find
cool.
it, but
I'm excited that the new trend is to let people, like women, let their hair go gray and white.
I
and
can't
everything.
wait.
It's so
for-
I'm
fair.
so
I
excited
can't
to have
wait.
gray hair. I had an alfalfa. I had one gray alfalfa. I got so excited. I was so excited, but it was sticking straight up, so it had to go.
Me too.
I've liked like the salt and pepper look since I don't know, probably like when I started watching like Ethan Klein and them, like back in like 2015, 16. He was like in his late 20s and he just had like salt and pepper. I'm like, I love that.
She doesn't know who Ethan Klein is right now.
Who?
Brother.
Oh,
Brother! Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
I don't know what's happening.
Just a YouTuber. That's
Oh, yeah. It's not that big of a deal.
Yeah, it's
You've probably seen him, like, on TikTok. He used to do this podcast with this chick, Trish. She's, like, blonde.
she
really
sucks.
crazy.
Oh,
The guy. That's
I
Ethan
still
Klein.
don't know who the guy is, but I know
But, yeah.
Trish.
Yeah.
I think.
Didn't she used to do videos where she's like 100 layers of semen and she would like rub, she would
What?
rub like fake cum on her face?
Ew. Wasn't she the one that always like added to the end of
Yes.
her
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
She was on America's Got Talent.
She was? What
What?
talent? She
For,
doesn't have a
like,
talent.
For fast talking. Or she was on Ellen, too, for fast talking. She was, like, a rapper on America's Got Talent.
Not a real talent.
I'm so sick of humanity. Okay. I mean, that's just thrilling.
Wait, how do we get there? Oh, yeah, I can't wait to have gray hair. I had one white one. When I was, like, 16, I had a white one, like, right here. But it went away.
Yeah, I'm really excited about
But my
it.
mom doesn't even get a lot of grays. So
No.
We'll see.
My mom's starting to get a little salt and pepper.
My mom's hair is gone. She hates it, and I'm like, nah. It looks just. Oh, I love it.
I love it.
It looks so awesome. If I wanted to dye my hair, I was really considering dyeing my hair like gray or whatever. Then I was like, then I'd have to keep doing it until I'm old, and I'm like, I don't want to do that.
And it's hard when you, like, dye it that color because it turns brassy, so you have to really, like, upkeep it and stuff.
And I'm the cheapest and laziest human being. I'm like, nope, no, thank you. In fact, I don't do anything with my hair anymore. Since my, what's she called, hairdresser. Since she just abandoned me, apparently.
She broke up with you.
No, she quit. She is now
Hairdressing altogether.
yeah, she's not a teacher's assistant. I had an appointment and she was like, okay, well just text me when you want your next appointment. And then like a week later, my aunt told me, she's like, yep, Therese quit. I'm like, cool! Alright! I only ever got my hair cut like every 9 months or something anyway. So I bought one of those trimmer things.
Like the split ender thing?
Yes, I bought that and I use that and I'm like, now I never have to get my hair cut anymore because I don't do anything. It's just straight and flat and whatever.
She doesn't let me cut my hair anymore. Granted, I did a very piss poor job.
I
I
don't
would
blame
always
her.
like mess it up in some spot, but
You gotta go to a professional barber.
And you have a good time all the time.
well, I
so
do
don't
now.
know.
I found my dude. That's what it is. I found my dude. He's like a, I don't know, little hippie man with like a deep ass voice.
He's literally just this little compact dude, but his voice sounds like Krong from Emperor's New Groove.
Oh my god!
No, dude, those little dudes, like my buddy Lane, he's, I don't know, like 5'8" and 130
Never met him.
pounds, like tiny ass little dude. Crazy deep voice.
I love that. I love when it's just like a disembodied
Yeah.
kind of thing. I'm like, what is happening? Like, are we in an echo chamber?
Yeah.
Like, what is happening? I love that. We got way off on a
I
tangent.
know. I'm like, we're like probably 30 minutes in, and we haven't even gotten
Probably
to the
more than
structure.
That far in.
No, probably.
Oh my God.
We're 29 minutes in.
Wow,
And we
Yes.
haven't even like gotten to the structured
No.
format.
So,
Sorry, go ahead.
Good
No,
intro.
you go ahead.
Good intro.
What do we want to like get to? I don't even know. Like we've got questions. We have a fun fact. Like I don't know what do you guys want to
well, I was wondering, did you guys find, like, I was looking through, like, different Ohio memes. I found a lot of Midwestern memes.
Yeah.
And I saw this one that was this car, literally their entire front end was dipped down into a crater that was filled with water. It's just like when you're in the Midwest and you hit a pothole.
Oh, I did see that. Because I was looking on the way here, because we forgot to to get those. I saw one, you know the one farmer where he's like, it's not much, but it's honest work?
No.
This guy?
That guy.
Yeah, but he died. He's
Oh,
from
oh.
Ohio. He's from Ohio.
Oh no.
Yeah.
That's sad.
That guy.
I don't know that one.
Are you serious? That's like a really famous meme.
No, you know what is actually, okay, not to be dark or anything, but the recent
Yes.
news in Ohio was that low-life scumbag who just killed his 3 kids.
Oh, I heard about that. It was like 2 days ago, wasn't
Yeah.
it?
I didn't hear
Yeah.
about that.
Yeah, this dad of 3 young boys, I think they were 7, 4, and 3, executed them in their front yard. And
Yeah.
one of them had apparently run off into one of the fields. He tracked the kid down, drug him back, and killed him in the front yard. And then the mom had gotten shot in the hand or something as well.
Yeah,
But
trying
yeah,
to, like,
just
stop
executed
him.
his 3 kids. I'm like,
Did he at least kill himself afterward?
No.
He didn't even have the decency to do that.
Wow.
No, he did not. Nope, he sat in the front yard. He was calm about it, and as the police.
The police. Did you see the video of him like with police though? And they were like trying to handcuff him and stuff. And he's like, "Do you mind if I roll over? Like, I'm not gonna hurt anybody. I'm
Were
not
they
gonna hurt
just
anybody."
chit-chatting?
Can I stand up? I'm kind of
Yeah.
uncomfortable. Like he was so. I'm like that is pure evil. That kind of calm psychopath. Like that is nothing short of evil, right there in a human being. I'm like, again, I don't like humanity at the moment.
Mm-mm.
But let's move on from that because that's really depressing.
That's awkward. Anyway.
Okay.
Segue.
Talking about potholes, though, let me go ahead and continue proving the fact that I'm such a good driver, right? So, me and my brother, we had a Jeep Grand Cherokee. It was like an 06 or something like that. And my brother got in trouble for something or other, and he was no longer allowed to drive to school. And so I did. Problem with that was I only had my permit. I did not have my license, and my brother was not 21, or he was not of age to actually be. But, you know, it was a small town in Ohio, so who cares? So I'm driving us to school, and the school parking lot was a gravel pit, and it was
Same.
kind of like on a hill. The whole kind of setup was just whatever, but not the greatest. And we're in the gravel pit, and as we're leaving school, I had been talking to someone. I was sitting in my Jeep, and I was talking to someone outside, so I had my window down. And then AJ gets in, we're starting to go, and there's a telephone pole, and then there's just this big-ass crater right in the middle of the parking lot, and it's filled with water. And my brother was just like, hit the pothole, hit it. And so I'm like, okay. I step on it. He was thinking I was gonna like pop us like down into it. No, I floored it. I ramped us through this massive crater. Problem is, like I said, I had been talking to someone. My window was down. Wall of water comes up in front of the Jeep, and I'm thinking to myself, it's coming around us. It's all gonna come in my window. So I like turn the wheel to try and keep it away from coming inside. And the problem with that was the telephone pole was right there. And you know along the side of telephone poles, like the wire that comes down at an angle?
Yeah, the anchor.
Yeah, I drove right up it.
Dude.
So there my car is at like a 45-degree angle in the school parking lot, and we're just kind of chilling on the wire.
That's because those are sturdy. They go like 7-8 feet deep into the ground. I don't think most people realize how deep those go.
They are a big ass steel cable right there, and drove right up on it. So I was sitting up there.
Wow.
Because I'm a great driver. So that was
You're a
always fun.
great driver.
I am a
Danielle.
great driver. Next day, in my Spanish class, I walked in and there was a diagram of my car drawn on the blackboard. Somebody had drawn it. It's like, okay, everybody saw.
Oh.
Luckily, I didn't hit anybody though. So
Was the car okay?
Oh yeah, it was fine.
Oh my god.
It's a Jeep Grand Cherokee. Heck yeah. I put it in reverse, backed up off it, shimmied it a little bit, and we're good. Yep. Yeah.
Impressive.
Good times. Very good times. My friend also got hit in the parking lot. Her car got hit, and actually it had damage, and somebody left. It was a hit and run. Your mouths dropped open at the same time. Just like
Well, it also reminded me, I got hit in a parking lot, like my body.
Danielle, you just spit across.
I know, I saw it full on. Dude, I moved my hands. I don't know where it landed. But
oh my god, that was so funny. Like your body?
Yeah,
Wait,
my shorts ripped.
Wait, I don't know this story.
Oh.
I can't handle that.
Okay, well, listen, I clickbaited a little bit. So it was for a project, right? Like a school project. We were working on some like French project or whatever. And and in the video I was supposed to get like hit with the car and we were gonna make it look a little more whatever. But I actually we were going like probably 8 to 10 miles an hour, which isn't a lot. But it was enough to rip my shorts like in half.
Like, I don't think I could like voluntarily like make myself do it.
The SpongeBob episode of Ripped
When
My
I
Pants.
ripped my pants.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I was really stupid.
Well, like on impact, or you fell and your shorts
I don't
ripped?
recall.
That's
But yeah, no,
hilarious.
if you need to know how stupid I was living alone at 17, so.
What?
That's just the time, that's
Wait,
what I was doing at the time.
Wait a second. How does that equate to you being stupid, though?
Because what kind of dumbass lives on their own when they're 17? It's not like I was, like, emancipated or anything.
Oh, you're just up and left?
Yeah, I'm just... It's kind of stupid.
I told her, I was like, as long as you can get your parents to do whatever, make your doctor's appointments, pay for your stuff, do it.
Yeah.
Just mooch off of your parents as long as you can.
My sister is going to be 27 in, like, 2 days. She's living at home. She's moved out a few times, but right now she's living at home. My mom doesn't live there. Weird situation. Anyway, but she's living at home, and I'm like, I'm so jealous. You pay, like, $400 a month for, like, all your bills. Like, I wish I was doing that right now. You know how much money I'd be saving? But instead, stupid me moved out at 17. That's...
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I could have saved a lot of money. Some of my friends that have lived, at their parents' house till they're, like, 23, 24, they're like, oh, yeah, I have $30,000 for a house payment. I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
I moved out of my parents' house when I was 20, but I moved in with my aunt and uncle to go to trade school. I couldn't work during it because it was an advanced program. I was, I'm pulling 10, 12-hour days. I couldn't work. It was for 6 months. So I moved in with them, and I moved out of their house when I was 21, and I've been on my own since then. Well, sort of. I had a roommate for a couple years, but after I moved out of that, then I've been on my own. And it, while I love the independence, I love being alone, I'm kind of addicted to my solitude at this point. At the same time, I gotta pay for stuff, and that sucks. Like, really bad.
Yeah, not having a dual income, like, as far as, like, roommates or a spouse or whatever, sucks.
Yeah, I don't recommend it. And honestly, it feels like nowadays, I think we're going back, right? Because, like, back in the 50s, you lived with your parents until you got married. Then it started becoming a thing, like, it was better, you turn 18 and it's your goal to move out. I think we're going back. I think we're going backwards now because I feel like a lot of, a majority of my friends up here, we're pushing, I'm 27, I've got a couple older friends, so like 30-year-olds are still living with their parents, and I'm like...
It's like pretty normal now.
It's normal at this point.
Yeah.
And I think that's great.
Well, it's the economy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you look at, like, all the different markets, it's like, oh, the housing market is fucked. The job market is fucked. Like, just everything is just fucked.
As I was trying to look for a new apartment, and you can't find a single one bed, one bathroom that has in any kind of decent area for under $1,200.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm not paying that. It's not gonna happen.
Yeah. My shit's so cheap. It's like not it's like in a good area, but the corner that I live on is like the bad part of the nice area. Like, so it's not that bad, but it's not as nice as like if I was a couple blocks down. But I have a 1 bed, 1 bath, kind of shitty apartment, but there's like, it's got decent room. Okay. I pay like $8.75 a month, utilities included.
Oh,
you know what
nice.
I mean? Like, utilities included.
Okay.
But I try to leave pretty much every year when my lease is up, and I can never find anything where I'm like, okay, so I'm paying more money, but it's nicer, but it's like way more money. So it's like I look at stuff that's like comparable, and it's like worse, like it's shittier. So I'm just stuck there perpetually.
Yeah. Now, we're gonna reel it on back. Would you ever move to Ohio?
Yes. I want to.
He's probably going to.
I want to really badly. Like, I do miss it a lot.
How are you going to convince Mary Grace to go?
I just keep bringing her when I go back home, and I just have her have a good time.
Your face is just...
You have a good time every time we go to Ohio.
But it's not because of Ohio.
Not every time.
Well, your
Oh.
anxiety is what makes it not
And I had
great
like
sometimes.
explosive diarrhea at the time.
Okay, but those are
And
like...
that I'm blaming that on the fact that I was in Ohio.
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with anything.
Oh,
It's the
okay.
air in Ohio.
Yeah.
This was pre-contamination of the air, though.
Oh my god. So you would move back.
I would, yeah.
Whereabouts?
Either either back towards my hometown or no. If you, I don't know, spent time in my hometown, you would kind of get the attraction to it.
What's the population size?
2.
2,700 people.
You're out of your freaking mind.
Listen.
2,700 people, you're all up each other's butts. No, thank you.
It's nice.
Just living up each other's asses, it's nice.
Yeah, bro.
What? You're insane. I just met you today. You're insane.
Okay, but you're within 20 minutes of like a larger population center in any direction. Like if you go 20 minutes south, you're in, I don't know, Mount Vernon is like closer
Mount
to
Vernon.
it's like closer to like 30,000 people. You go, what is that? Northeast, you have Worcester. Northwest, you have Ashland, and then you have like Mansfield like 35 minutes away. So it's like you have stuff in any direction if you need it. The town itself is like you don't have to leave town. Like it's perfectly adequate as far as like grocery stores, stuff like that. But there's zip lining, there's a couple bars if you're into the nightlife. There's cabrewing, there's lots of outdoor stuff. We have within 10 to 15 minutes, there's like 4 or 5 state parks and forests that are incredible. There's an appeal to it.
You want to hear the other side of things?
Okay.
So my hometown. This is what I'm reporting. This is what I've heard. This is what I found out. This is also some of the things that I know to be true. So you mentioned Worcester,
Yeah.
and one of my teachers was from Worcester.
Oh God.
So I'm just gonna rattle off everything that I can think of. When I was in 7th grade, there was one teacher, it was rumored that he would look down girl shirts. Then the 8th grade, she was the 8th grade English teacher. She used to be my 6th grade English teacher. She moved up to 8th grade. Whatever. She was the high school girls' softball coach, and she was having a sexual relationship with one of her players. Forced relationship. While she was married, and her husband knew about it. It was a whole thing. She went to prison, blah, blah, blah. So there was that. There was the 8th grade girls basketball coach who was sexting his players. Got fired for that. There was the broadcast journalism teacher that was sleeping with her students, allegedly. So I heard. Think she got fired for that. And then there was my junior year, my physics teacher. This was the greatest. She was 5'0", maybe 4'11". Tiny little thing. She used to be a professional bodybuilder. I've seen the pictures. Weird. So she's itty-bitty. Used to be a professional bodybuilder. Now she's a physics teacher. And her mountain of a husband. I mean, he's a moving mountain. Massive. They got busted for a meth lab. Yeah. So there was that. There's a lot of
That's some Ohio shit.
Meth baby.
And then as far as like some of the other students, there was one guy who was busted having like an orgy in the parking lot after prom or something. Then there was
There's nothing wrong with that.
there was another. This is where it starts to getting into rumors that I don't know what's up, but this is what I heard. There was one girl who got pregnant and was trying to blame it on these 2 kids. I think that were in a year younger than us, but tried to blame it on them. They both were like, no, paternity test it. It's not us. and then rumors got around that it was actually her dad. Or her dad or her grandpa or something like that. It was really freaking messed up. It was awful once the rumors started getting around for that one.
This is all your town?
This is all my hometown.
No wonder you fucking hate Ohio, dude.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
There was this poor kid. He just had he had it bad. People just bullied him mercilessly. He brought it on himself a lot of the time. That's not true. That's not fair. Don't bully people. Don't do it.
He was a little weird, though.
He was a little bit out there, a little bit weird, and just incessantly annoying as well. And so he just actively made people hate him.
Yeah.
But rumors got around that he boinked his dog.
That he did what?
He had sex with his dog.
He boinked his dog. Rumors. It was rumors. It's not
People
true.
do that though. Like,
Are you trying to defend it?
no, I'm just saying, like, it's way more common than people think. I feel like it could be happening.
The sheep.
My old apartment maintenance guy told a story one time. He's from Florida. His uncle lived in Georgia. He said he walked in on his uncle when he was a kid. He walked in on his uncle fucking like sheep or something.
Mm.
But he told it in a really funny way. And dude, he did like a motion and everything.
Okay.
And he's just a very eccentric person.
I'm
The event itself, not funny. The way he said it, hilarious.
I'm wondering why. What is the fascination with keeping the population going? Because, like, my ecology teacher, he was like, if we want to keep the population growing, we have to do this, this, and this. We have to take care of this, and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, why would you want to?
I know the answer.
Why? No. I want it to de-escalate. I want carpet bomb the planet. I'm done with humanity.
Wait, what's the answer?
The answer is capitalism. You need infinite growth.
Yeah, no thank you.
Like,
and
you need...
you know the post-apocalyptic... what?
Poke-Olympic?
Post-apocalyptic...
It's apple cider like, vinegar.
Screw you! But what is the fascination? Like, what is the drive to survive? Because if the apocalypse actually happened, I'm gonna sit here and wait to die. Because I'm not running from zombies. Eat me. I don't care. I'm not gonna try to survive like a volcano eruption. No. Just no.
See, I have like anxiety about that sort of stuff. I'm like borderline prepper. Like, I'm not like that far into, but I'm like, okay, I have like a nice supply of ammo, some rifles. Like, I have like
surviving.
outdoor stuff.
Why would you want to survive without the possibility of ever actually living?
I think it's.
I do that now.
I think it's because you said that you would be maybe willing to push that if I could not exist right now button, and maybe that's why.
So you would fight to survive. You would go.
I don't know. I haven't been there.
Well, what's the scenario? Like, if it's like getting ripped apart by zombies,
like the Walking Dead scenario. You would try to survive a Walking Dead scenario.
I'm not intimately familiar with The Walking Dead.
Nor am I. I've never actually watched it.
Yeah, but like a zombie takeover. I'm not getting fucking torn apart by zombies, dude.
No, that's why
I don't know. I feel like I'm in between.
Nah.
I don't know.
I'm not killing myself either. I have like superstitions with that shit.
I'm not.
Oh yeah.
I'm not kill myself, but just not actively try to survive. Like, nah.
Is that passively killing yourself?
Sure. I don't know. But I'm just not.
Yeah, but so is eating Taco Bell.
That's true, and I do that a lot.
So there's
I've
multiple ways.
lost weight eating Taco Bell though, so
That's concerning.
Well,
If
it's
it
just
gives you like
I
a
count
stomach
calories.
bug or
I just
like,
count calories. That's what it is, really. But...
let's see. I don't know. I avoid Taco Bell at all costs.
Wait, you don't like Taco Bell?
I like it, but the thought of what I'm actually eating, that gets me.
Oh, see, I don't eat meat, so I don't think about it that deep.
Shall we start the podcast?
What do you mean start? This is
it. Yeah, it's just a bunch of rambling. But the questions we do have, let's switch gears a little bit. Now
All right.
that we're gonna be like an hour and a half. This one, this is crazy.
Sorry, guys.
Well, there's an addition of a whole other person. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like, this is also our first time meeting, so like,
We're just getting it all out
Getting
there.
a background established and
Yeah.
everything. So
Getting the whole foundation laid. Good stuff. The question, that's my catchphrase. I realized I was listening to the other podcasts, and I realized that my catchphrase is like when awkward silences or something happen. Good stuff. Good stuff.
Good stuff.
And then also, whatever it may be. I say that all the time. If I'm trying to describe something or list something, I'll da-da-da-da, whatever it may be. I say that all the time.
I think you do, yeah.
Ah! I need to stop. It's so annoying. Okay, anyway, sorry.
I do
moving
that
on.
too. I say the same things all the time.
that's alright. I said my name was Eric the Man. I'm like, what the fuck is that?
Mistakes have been made.
Literally, I felt my face get red as soon as I said that. I was like, you already fucked up 12 seconds into the...
No, I messed up. I messed up like 2 seconds in when I was like, the very first one. I was like, "Hello, welcome to." I almost said the wrong thing.
Yeah.
I'm not joking. So yeah, we're professionals at this. We're great. It's fine. Good stuff. Good stuff.
I'm gonna ask a question.
Okay. It's 420.
All right.
Believe it.
If you could wake up tomorrow having gained one quality or ability, what would it be? Danielle.
Okay. Okay. So, usually, like, my answer to this, if, like, we're being stupid and whatever, is teleportation. That'd be great. But no, my actual answer to this is the ability to more accurately judge and discern, not judge, but, like, read a person and discern their character to be able to tell if this is somebody that I need to spend my time with or that I should just kind of block away, you know, whatever it may be. But yeah, so to be able to kind of read people a little bit better, because I know when I was younger, I inherently thought everyone was totally good. I trusted everybody with everything, and it bit me in the ass so hard so many times that I have now gone the other way, and I trust nobody with anything.
Mm-hmm.
But in doing that, I give myself, like, over to everybody. Like, I give everything of myself to everyone. That way, nobody can use anything against me. Because you can't use something against me if I've already admitted to it, kind of thing.
Okay.
Because, and that's why I don't trust anybody with anything. So I divulge everything right off the bat. But I'm like, I need to be able to read people a little bit better to be able to kind of set my circles the way I want them to be. So that would be my ability, is to just more accurately kind of pick a person's character.
That's such a good
I like that. I just
answer.
had deja vu from last episode when I liked your answer.
Okay. Great.
Wow, I liked
Cool.
your answer twice now.
No, like I just remember you talking and being like, "Oh, that was really good," and I'm doing it right now.
Well, it reminds me of a time when it was a church retreat, kind of like whatever, young people's gathering. I don't know what to call it. But, and this is what I heard secondhand from someone else's story. But my friend Mike, the conversation had kind of lulled, and so he presented the question, like, if you had a superpower, what would it be? Everyone's going around giving their, you know, teleportation, flying, blah, 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 all those. And he gets to another one of our friends, Sterling. He asked, you know, what would be your superpower? He's like, you know, Mike, I don't know. That's a hard question. I'm going to have to get back to you on that. Mike is like, okay, that's fine. Later that evening, Sterling goes back up to Mike and apparently says, I figured it out. If I had one superpower, it would be perfect love and compassion. And Mike just said that he felt so stupid because he was like, I want super strength.
That's so cute.
Yeah, that's
Perfect love and compassion. I'm like, wow, make us all feel stupid.
I
that's
love
how
that.
I'm about to feel after I give my fucking answer. After
Oh,
what
bring
you
it on.
did.
I love it.
If I'm to answer that question, honestly, I just put just the ability to turn my brain on, like, because it's constantly like I would be talking to her, and then have a conversation about like what I just said while still talking to her, and then like you know something catches my attention over here, and then over here, and then I'm like, you know, tapping, making a little beat with my, you know, hands or whatever.
ADHD,
And and it's just like, if I could just, like, most of the time it doesn't bother me, but sometimes it's just like someone's talking to you and then I'm talking to myself in my head, and then it's like, fuck, can I just turn my head off so I can like actually like listen and be more present in moments and like not get so distracted, because it's such a difficult thing for me to like stay focused.
Well, when a person says something, I'll be thinking about what they just said, and I'll start thinking about it. My train of thought will go further into what they said, but they're continuing to say something else. But I'm still thinking about what they said prior to that.
Yes.
So it's not that I wasn't paying attention. It's just I'm thinking too much about what you said, and now I miss the rest of what you said, and then it just
You're paying too much attention. Almost.
Yeah. And then I can't catch up, and so I just zone out, and I'm like, you know what? Why bother?
Yeah. So if I could just perceive shit from like a normal perspective, like just every once in a while, just to get a nice little reset, it would be nice, I think.
Good answer.
That was a good answer.
Thank you.
Yeah. Your turn, Mary Grace.
I have to look at the question again. Sorry. One ability. Oh, I kind of went back and forth between two things. I don't know if I would want to not care what other people think, or if I'd want to know how much people care, or if they care. You know what I mean?
Like, only in the positive direction? Or
Like, I don't know. I feel like a lot of times, like, I feel guilty, like, if I feel like I let someone down or something, and in reality, they actually don't care.
Oh.
I don't know if I'd rather want to not care whether they care or not, or actually, you know, if they say, oh, it's fine, know whether or not it actually is fine.
I think that's probably your best bet.
I agree, because the other way, you would kind of be a dick. Like,
Yeah.
I want my ability to just be a dick and not give a fuck what other people think.
I think that's very...
But if you're a dick and you don't care you're a dick, then you don't care.
But for the people who you do care about...
Like me. Like her. All right. I presume.
Yeah. For like my 3 people that I actually know. So for the people that you do care about, you want to be able to know what they're actually thinking to then be able to react appropriately to that.
That makes sense.
So if you know their level of actually caring, like you said, if they say it's fine, but you know that it's not actually fine, you can do what you need to do to fix it.
Right.
That is really smart. Ooh. And it sucks that that's not actually going to happen.
No, it's called a hypothetical.
I don't like hypotheticals. I want it to actually be real.
Well then, how about this? People could just be honest.
That's...
If you're upset about something, then just tell someone that. That's
actually one of the things that is why I want to be able to judge people a little bit better, because I've just so many times I've been blindsided by people coming up to like, you upset me with this or that, and I'm like, what are you talking about? Like,
You didn't tell me,
yeah, I'm like, well, we were fine in the moment. You said it was fine, like, and then you blindside me with it. Now I have to rework everything. Now I do feel like a dick. It's just like, where you just need to be able to know people a little bit better. So, anyway.
Very true. I hate, like, I don't know if it's, like, American culture, but just the, like, oh, how are you? I'm good, how are you? Like, I'm fine. Like, just, like, going through motions.
Oh.
And, like, smiling and, like, doing all these, like, you know what I mean? Like,
that's why I hate small talk.
I'm so bad
Small
at
talk.
it. I will, like, if you ask me how I'm doing and I'm not doing well, I'll tell you. I'll be like, oh, it's not my day, really, but, like, I
yeah.
I feel like it's lying. When someone's like, oh, how you doing? I'm like, living the dream. If someone ever says living the dream to you, help them. Help them. That is a cry for help.
My buddy Chris says that all the time, and I'm like, just tell me you want to kill yourself. like, be honest, dude. It's all right.
That is one code that has been deciphered, and yet people don't do anything about it. It's like, help.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't like when people, like, trauma dump if it's, like, a stranger and I'm, like, cashing them out.
Oh.
But I also don't like this, like, it's almost like passive lying. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. See, I don't mind when people trauma dump in passing, because I know that third person, that separation, sometimes it's you just need to get it out.
Mm-hmm.
That's true.
And you just need someone to be on the receive it, like, just throw it at somebody and then be able to walk away from it. Because if you throw it at somebody who is in your personal circle, then it stays there, and they want to help. It's like, no, I just need to literally throw it out and get it done with, kind of thing. And that sometimes has to be a third person.
That's a good point.
That's your cue for therapy.
Oh, yeah.
I agree with that, but I don't think that you should, like, do that to, like, someone who's, like, forced to stay and listen. Like, if it's, like, someone, you know, like, you're at a park and you're like, hey, can I just, you know, say this
that's
to
such
you
an
or
awkward
whatever.
situation.
It is, but, like if I was at a park and some old guy came up to me and he's like, hey, can I just, like, I don't know, speak a little bit here? like my wife just died, you know, and blah blah. Like I would be fine with that. But if I'm, you know, I used to work at Pizza Hut in high school. If I'm fucking working at Pizza Hut and you're like, my wife just died, and I'm like, dude, I'm just trying to get tip money so I can go buy my weed later.
See,
like,
I feel like it's the other way around. I feel like someone starting to, and I did this in retail all the time, people would tell me all their stories.
Yeah.
And it would usually be fine because there's like a set of time that they only have to interact. It's like during their transaction. You only have this allotted amount of time to trauma dump or whatever, and then once I'm done with the transaction, time's up for you, you have to go. Like, there's more people. Whereas if someone walked up to me in the park, I have to come up with some kind of obligation, or I have to all of a sudden create a time crunch.
Gotcha.
Rather than there being one already in place.
That's a
But
good
that's just
point.
me. I mean, I've had people definitely overstay their welcome and it's like, I have a line and I'm like trying to nicely say, like, get out!
That
Yeah.
happens to me all
That's
the time.
so uncomfortable because they're like
Yeah.
pouring their heart out to you, and you're like, okay, the transaction's over, honey.
Yeah.
Please
I'm
get
so
out
sorry
of
to
here.
hear that, but you know what? I hope you have a nice rest of your day. Next!
Sorry about your cancer.
Yeah. Yep. Cheers, man.
Ugh.
Oh, that's a rough one.
That's hard.
That's when you just want to be a dick and not care.
For real. But I'm glad that you said that, because that thing about, like, you know, just throwing it onto someone, because now I feel like I'm going to be more compassionate when people do that to me.
Speaking of that, though, I know we could probably have other questions that we can move on to, but that is one thing that I was trying to go to therapy at one point, and I was trying to get in to see a new doctor. I went to the office. I had a specific appointment time, and they were running really over. And I was sitting there, I was waiting. It was like 2 hours past, and I was like, I have somewhere to be. Like, can I see this doctor, or what's going on? They're like, yes, we're really behind. Can you wait a couple more hours? I'm like, no, I can't. Give me my deposit back. I'm leaving. But that was one of the other times I was there. The first time I was trying to get in to see this doctor, waiting room was completely packed, and there was this kid, and he and his, like, mother, aunt, grandma, someone or other, a couple family members, were sitting there, and he was making so much stinking noise, and he was up and down and running, and I'm telling you, this place was packed. And so there's a ton of people there, we're all frustrated, whatever. This kid is just making so much noise, yelling, whatever. And I was getting really, really annoyed. And I kept, like, side glaring at these women. I was like, control this kid. Like, what are you doing? And then, at one point, he just says, Mom, I hate having Asperger's. Oh! And I was like, I'm literally at an office for people who are fighting their demons, for people who are trying to seek out help. I'm sitting in a room full of people who have, you know, invisible battles going on. I'm sitting here judging this kid and this family member. I have no idea what's going on with them, and I'm sitting there being a judgmental asshole. And then, you know, it comes to, like, you know, what's actually ever since that day, I have been so much more patient with kids, you know, making noise. And actually, at some point, it makes me smile and kind of laugh, because I'm like, parents are going through it. Kids are going through it. You know, we're having a day. And it just kind of makes me smile now. Whereas before, I'd get, like, really impatient. And so I'm like, I'm really kind of glad for that kind of, like, asshole moment, like, wake-up call.
Yeah.
So I will say that. So sometimes you just need a kick in the teeth kind of thing.
Yeah.
So.
No, I agree with that. I had something similar, not with, like, you know, someone else or whatever, but just, like, I was going through some stuff, like, a year and a half ago, and I started getting, like, panic attacks, like, constantly, all day, every day for, like, months. And, like, having something like that happen gave me, like, the perspective that, like, I looked perfectly fine. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I was still going to work. I was still doing that, you know, all the stuff. But I thought I was, like, dying every second of every day. Like, I was, like, paranoid that, like, I was going to have, like, a heart attack, or, you know, my brain was going to explode, or what. Like, and you're just constantly, like, afraid.
Mm-hmm.
And I had a lead who also had panic attacks. We were able to, like, bond and kind of talk about that. He's a bit older. He's been having it for a much longer period of time. So he was able to give me advice and everything. And he told me, like, some other people that I had worked with that, like, had similar things. I don't think he was allowed to do that, but... but, you know, it was like, oh, there's like 6, 7 people, you know, out of the, like, 40 whatever people that are here, where it's like, oh, there's like a good chunk of us that are like dealing with like intense anxiety and panic attacks and stuff, where it's like, oh, you don't feel so alone.
It is so much more common than I think people realize.
Yeah.
But the nature of these disorders, you know, anxiety, panic disorders, depression, it specifically makes you feel alone.
Yes.
And it's so crazy because it is so common, but it is complete like the opposite. It makes you feel the exact opposite of what actually is reality.
Yes.
And it messes with you.
It's crazy.
Yeah. That's definitely a big one. And that's why I think like everybody needs to go to therapy. Who wouldn't want an hour worth of time just to talk about yourself?
Yeah.
You know, I don't care how mentally stable you are, everybody should be going to therapy.
Yeah.
I think that's great.
I agree, 100%.
We need to be more open and honest with it too, because like I said, it's just so freaking common. That's why I have no qualms about saying like I'm a depressed fuck. Like,
Well, you're from Ohio. I
that's
know.
it. That's all I need to say. That everybody knows I am from Ohio. But I don't want to cut things super short. But at the same time, I think we've gone way over at this
Oh,
point.
sorry, you got to click the
That's-
button.
Maybe that's one of those old ones.
What are we,
Yeah.
hour
We're
5?
hour 5. Yeah. Do you want to save the questions for another time, or do you want to What do you want to do?
I don't care. I feel bad because he has a fun fact, but if it's
Well, let's do that then.
over,
We'll save the
I'm
questions
cool
for
with
later.
it.
Let's do the fun fact. I
Okay.
love fun facts.
All right.
What do you got? That's why I texted you. I was just like, does he want to do it this time?
Yeah.
I think we need to make all of our guests bring the fun fact.
I agree. I think that's like a fun, like,
Yeah.
it was fun to do like a little bit of research on it and like, oh,
Yeah.
what's an interesting, thing.
Make you do the work for it. This
Exactly.
time. So here's our segment of, the more you know. Take it away, Eric.
Yeah, so I am going to be talking about the Cadaver Synod. It took place in 897. That's right, the year 897.
The year of our Lord.
Kind of. So it's the fact is that Pope Stephen VI fucking hated Pope Formosus. And so I'll dive a little bit more into that. So Pope Formosus died in like April of 896, and then Pope Stephen took power in May, right? So like a month later. Well, to kind of keep the story short, they disagreed on like the role of the church, like church politics and stuff. I mean, in the Middle Ages, the Catholic Church had so much power over nations and everything. So they just disagreed a lot. So Pope Stephen kind of took power, and he decided to have Pope Formosus, his body, exhumed 8 months after he had already died.
Ew.
And they dressed him up in a Pope costume and put him on trial.
Because that's going to work.
Yeah. And so they assigned a deacon to speak on Formosus's behalf, right?
Why was his body necessary for that?
Yeah, you couldn't have done it like at his grave,
Something,
and then like
ew.
have the deacon say whatever. It just reminds me of like playing with dolls, like, but the doll is a body.
But okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So in the trial, they basically were like, everything you did as Pope was stupid, and we're gonna retroactively like take away your Pope title. Like we're gonna revoke that. So he was found guilty on these charges and everything.
Wow.
And so what they did as punishment is they cut off 3 fingers on his right hand.
but he was dead. Why is it?
They buried him in a foreigner's cemetery to like disrespect him. They later re-exhumed his body, and they threw him in the Tiber River. And and so then his body allegedly, and I couldn't find what the miracles were, but his body washed ashore, and it was allegedly like performing miracles. And I wish I could find out what those miracles were, but none of the sources said anything about what the miracles were. But I guess it had created such an uproar that the people ousted Pope Stephen VI, imprisoned him, and then executed him via strangulation. And then the next pope, Theodore II, basically renamed Pope Formosus, like, as a pope, like, they reinstated his shit, and then they had him respectfully buried. So the entirety of Pope Stephen VI had, everything he did literally just led to him getting fucking murked, and then it was all put back to normal. So that's my fun fact.
Petty bitches.
Dude, what?
Wow.
That took place over like a year, if that.
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
That gave me
Maybe like
whiplash.
6 or 8 months or something. Like.
Oh my god.
That's just, oh my gosh. I'm not a fan of humanity. Wow.
I was so excited to share that.
That's some
That's so
humanity
twisted.
shit.
That's some humanity shit.
That's
My
so
God.
weird.
I just, the lengths people will go to, it's just, get over it, you know?
It led
It's
to
just-
his death.
I'm just, man, what's that? It's like drinking poison and expecting another person to die. It's like, you screwed yourself, but
Yeah.
you played yourself. Oh my God. He had it coming. What's that song? He had it coming. He had it coming. He had it on. What is it? He only had himself to blame. I don't know. What is that from? Chicago?
I have no idea what you're
I've
singing.
never heard of
I've
it.
Never,
Never heard it.
before.
That is not from Chicago. What is that from?
We were dancing though.
I'm gonna have to find it. That's gonna drive me nuts. Where's my phone? I'm losing everything today. Okay, good fact. I like that. What'd you say? 890?
fact.
896. The trial started in January 897.
Good stuff.
Good stuff. That
Yeah.
is so weird.
I love that cut off 3 fingers.
Yeah.
And just,
it
try to
was
justify-
like-
the dude's dead.
I guess it was like his blessing fingers.
Oh, like
I
when
don't
they go
know.
like this. When like Jesus is like this.
The blessing fingers.
Okay.
Oh my God.
We need to put in a picture of Jesus. You know, like he's normally like this.
The thumb, the index, and the middle finger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This thing. Is that what that is? I'm not Catholic, so I don't know.
The sign
What
of the
years did
cross.
you? You don't
The
do
sign
that?
of the cross. Me?
No.
Yeah.
No.
I don't know.
Oh no, that's a Catholic
I've been
thing.
to both. Well, I mean, there's so many Protestant churches, but yeah, no,
Non-denominational.
it's a
It's a Catholic thing. the
I didn't know
crossing.
that.
I'm not. A
The
fan
more
of
you know.
Catholic church.
I'm not a fan of.
Oh, me neither.
all my family's Catholic. You know, I'm not gonna get political.
Well, I just said the last one is just like you don't talk about money, politics, or religion, and
Those are my favorite topics.
those are hot button topics. I love talking about politics. I will say,
Me
I
too.
love talking about politics. I just don't know enough about it to actually like
Yeah.
hold like a legitimate argument. If we want to talk about it, great. Actually have arguments on it, like nope, don't yell at me. I don't like that either.
No, when I talk, I'm usually pretty chill. I get excited and I'm like, oh, but I also just do that talking about anything. Like,
Well, that's when I get excited. I'll start to kind of yell and I'll start to sound angry. It's like I'm not angry. I'm just very like. Ugh.
yeah, as you can see, I do the exact same thing.
Oh my god, he yells in my ear, and I'm like, we're alone and next to each other.
I just get really hyped up and everything. I can't tell you how many times I've called my mom and just those rants that just kind of need to pour out.
Mm-hmm.
I start the conversation with, I just need to talk about it. I don't need answers. I don't need advice. Just listen. Shut up and listen. And I just go off. And then she ends up just laughing at me. She's like, I wish I would have recorded that. That was funny. I was like, you're welcome for making your day. All right. Well, we are really over time. We don't
We're
wanna get
fine.
this-
It's not that bad.
Yeah. Well, it's when you try to compact the...
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
We'll
that's-
see. We'll see.
It's going to take 10 years for this to actually load, so I think this is a pretty good time to wrap up. Well, it's been fantastic having our very first guest. I hope you're honored to be
I
the
am.
number one spot.
Thank you, guest.
Thank you guys for having me.
Thanks for wandering off the street.
Eric the man.
All right, well, we will talk at you next week.
Talk at you next
Thanks for
week.
joining us at my aunt's attic. Even though it's not
Bye.
the attic, but whatever. Bye.